Got it. Oh, I don't know. It just happened to my thing. Sorry. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bridgewater Conservation Commission meeting this 13th day of October. We do have a quorum, so we're going to open the meeting. It is 5:31 p.m. For the record, members and staff present are Harry Bailey, member, Eileen Prisco, member, Steve Solvo, environmental planner, Nicole Salvo, the executive assistant, and myself, Wendy Smith, chair. I'll now read the governor's order for online meetings into the record. Disclosure pursuant to section 20 of chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, this meeting of the Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune into the meeting may do so via Zoom. There is a link on the bridgewaterma.org website with the phone number and meeting ID, along with a posted agenda. Tonight on the agenda, we have under we have old business, an ANRAD for 0 and 1300 Vernon Street, a notice of intent for 6 Aldrich Road. Under Conservation Commission business, we have a certificate of compliance for 500 South Street.
I don't know.
Someone needs to mute, please. An extension request for Scotland Boulevard, certificate of compliance for 5 Enright Way. And then we have administrative items, the approval of minutes for 9/22/22, and discussion items from the environmental planner report. So first on the agenda, we have old business, which is the ANRAD for 0 and 1300 Vernon Street, map 124, lot 2, 81, 6, and 12. The applicant representative is Silva Engineering, Manny and Jennifer Bujinga. So is anyone on that would like to speak on behalf of this ANRAD?
Good evening. I am here, but I am unsure of where we're proceeding, as we submitted a letter a week and a half or so ago and never received a response to it. So I know
Okay.
we need to hear from Steve Sobel, I think, on what he may or may not have discussed.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Rebecca. Steve, do you want to speak on this for a sec?
Yeah, so since the last meeting, we did not receive any response from the third-party reviewer, but he is in fact here just in time. And I will unmute Matt, but he did submit, or no, he didn't submit anything additional to what was submitted on, what was the date on that, Rebecca?
Oh, I don't remember. We can have,
It was just after the previous meeting, so.
Hello. Sorry,
Hey, Matt.
I'm just, I had a complete failure of the computer, so I had to restart.
All right. That happens.
So I am not up to speed on what you have been saying, unfortunately.
We just opened the meeting, and we are getting into what was exchanged after the last meeting, which was basically the same information. I think we're at a point now where both parties have said their piece, and I'll let Matt continue.
Sure. Thanks. Again, I apologize for this. All discombobulated because everything fell apart. So where we stand is we've come a long way in getting the resources squared away, our understanding of the resources squared away on the site. And we are all in agreement on everything except for the one point regarding the N and D series wetlands. Those are shown on the plans. In the most recent iteration of the plans, they are shown as isolated wetlands, essentially IVW, but if they were isolated, they're not handled properly, and that's another issue. In the field, on 2 occasions, we've observed distinct channels. They were they were made by man-made at some point in the past. Those channels do drain the N and D series wetlands. The channels meet the definition of intermittent stream in the Wetlands Protection Act. And because they are intermittent streams that touch those wetlands,
ND series, yeah.
the wetlands are therefore bordering vegetated wetlands. They border on a stream. So that's the position that I've explained and supported. The applicant has disagreed with that interpretation, stating, and I don't have the emails and correspondence at hand at the moment, but basically stating that the Wetlands Protection Act doesn't protect unnatural resources, but that's not true. So that's kind of where we stand. Those ditches are intermittent streams. They cause the N and D series wetlands to be bordering vegetated wetland, and without designation, thus it would make an ORAD incorrect in that regard. But everything else looks pretty good. I have reached out to DEP. They've concurred with my understanding of the fact that a man-made ditch constitutes a stream, an intermittent stream, and therefore the NND series wetlands would be jurisdictional, BVW. So really, it's up to the commission ultimately to make a decision here. And if you issue an order that states that the plans as they stand today are inaccurate in that regard, then the applicant is free to appeal that and kind of kick that decision up to DEP and get an official opinion from DEP on that regard.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
Excellent.
So commissioners, I guess I would ask if you have comments that you'd like to make or any questions that you need to ask regarding these ditches.
Yep.
Intermittent streams, where we go from here. I don't know if you've had a chance to look over the ORAD and read some of the things that have been put in that with the whole, everything that we've done since this all came up. And then the whole intermittent streams that, they don't need to be natural in origin. The plans show a flow of water. So if there's a flow, then, there's some things to be discussed. So I don't know if we need more time or what would you guys, someone wanna?
I can certainly speak up if you'd like me to go first.
Sure, go ahead, Eileen.
Where there's 2 engineers that are in disagreement, we obviously can't just default to the applicant's engineer. My suggestion is, as a commission, we should maybe turn to DEP and ask them if that's, Matt, can we do that? Can we suggest?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And in fact, that was one of my comments in the last round. I recommended that the commission reach out directly to the circuit rider for advice on this point.
Yeah, and I did.
Okay. Mhm.
I did speak to him. I just didn't, want to go too far because I wanted to talk to the commission members and find out how everybody else feels. But we're at a standstill with the agreement or disagreement of these streams then I don't see any resolve other than to ask DEP for their help.
Mhm.
I'd
Um,
like to hear what the other members think.
Harry? Do you have any comments or
Okay.
questions?
Oh, yeah. First of all, I'm going to start off that I'm the chair of the Taunton River Stewardship Council. Any body of water that drains into the Taunton River comes under our jurisdiction. We have now joined forces with the Taunton River Watershed Association, so we have a large membership, but we are advisors to that watershed. If you want, I'll have the watershed come down. They know all about the wetlands and they can look at it and give us our decision if that's what you'd like.
My thought, and I don't know, because this is the first time that I've chaired the meeting and had any kind of two separate parties, in like not being able to come to a conclusion, would be that we would go straight to DEP if that's what we should do.
Okay.
Only because they are the authority in this.
I think that would be a great idea, Wendy. I just don't see any other way out but to have it resolved through DEP.
Mhm.
And again, I didn't get into too much with DEP. I just had a discussion with the gentleman, I think his name was Jay, and I think he is expecting us to hopefully.
To reach out.
That's what the
Okay.
Circuit Rider program is for, is to
Right.
support conscoms with decisions like this.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So at this point, do we, what do we do? Make a motion to continue? Maybe, and with reaching out to DEP and, try to get, if there's any chance that they can come out before the next meeting and we could see what they have to say, and then I mean, it would be nice to be able to close this. It's been a long time coming. I'm sure Rebecca would like to have it closed. I think we all would. It's been a long time coming. So it would be nice just to get clarity. There's been so much work that's been done.
One thing that hasn't been done is none of the abutters have been able to speak. So I'm not sure if we have to open this up to them before we do anything.
Yeah, it is still an open. I mean, we can, but we're specific to the ditches and slash intermittent streams. That's where the discrepancy is, because then it changes isolated wetlands to bordering vegetated wetlands. So that's the only thing that if anyone is in the queue that wants to speak up about this, those are the only things that we're really talking about right now. So we can open it and see, and then we can make a motion to do what we're gonna do.
Yeah, so Madam Chair, I'll ask the abutters if any of them do have comments related to what you laid out. Please use the raise your hand function or comment in the chat, and we will try to locate you and give you the opportunity to speak, and we'll go from there. I've got Shane.
And Shane, when you do speak, can you just state your name and address, I think, for the record? Do you need to unmute him, Steve, or does he unmute?
Okay, can
You
you
just-
hear me okay? The
Yes,
whole,
now.
everybody, but can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, because I couldn't understand anybody that was saying, I heard, I've got the man-made ditches. I'm assuming that's the body of water or the pit directly behind my property. And the two, you guys said intermittent streams?
There's a
Snow-
question on whether or not they're ditches or intermittent streams.
Well, both. I know those were like what constitute, it's been wetland my entire life. So how, like, is there that water's run all summer long, even through this drought. So it's never dried up. I've been on this property 50 years. It's never dried up. If you want to have maybe you guys should all come down tomorrow and look after all this rain we have and see what it looks like out back. Because it starts from the golf course, forestry, it all sheds behind my house and it floods really bad. I've got pictures and video over the past several years since this project was supposedly started. So I don't understand what you're talking about. Who wants to say they're intermittent streams, because it's not. That's one. I pay flood insurance to live where I live because I'm in a high flood zone. So it's a AE flood zone. So I'm all for getting the environmental mass DEP in here. And get it settled for once and for all, because I've had to deal with this for 3 years. So if you want to see what that's really capable of doing, then you should come down after a rainstorm and see what I have to deal with. The water in my basement and the water out back. So maybe the commission should come down and look after a heavy rain and see what it's like out back. I mean,
Yeah.
the cat and nine tails are growing if it's not wet, and they've been there for years. So that's
Yeah.
I just need to know why who's saying it's an intermittent stream when it's not.
No, if we
No.
had
That
the
stream
plans,
is,
Shane, if we had the plans up, there's two sections that show, as of now, they show ditches. But there's a question on whether they're ditches that are man-made and that aren't connecting pieces, or if they're intermittent streams. But the plans show a flow of water, so we believe them to probably be intermittent streams, if I'm saying this correctly. So it's a little probably farther out from behind your property.
okay.
But still, I think that, your point is well taken. And I think that, like we've said, the DEP, it would be a good idea to have them come out and then make the decision on what it needs to be called.
Okay. Now, would I be notified when they would come out? Because I would like to be present just to hear what they would say, seeing that I am the main abutter to this entire project.
I'm not sure about that. Steve, do you have an answer for that? Like, did they notify, or do they just go out when they have the ability?
I'll have to speak to the circuit rider about notification process if there is one.
Okay. We'll look into that,
Okay,
Shane.
no, I would appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you for your
Yep,
comments.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
If I could
So-
just, I think that correct me if I'm wrong, Shane, but I think you're talking about Snow Brook itself. That's not the thing that's being discussed with regard to intermittent or not. That's a perennial stream. That's permanent. It's behind Snow's Brook.
Yeah.
There's a couple of wetlands that have ditches that are at issue. Oh, thanks.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So,
So one stream is right in the center of the screen, the brown tan area and up. That's right now, it's written in the plan as a ditch,
Mhm.
but there's a flow of water there. That's in question. And then over to the left, there's also another brown area, and there's a ditch that goes down like to near Snows Brook. It heads down that way. Those are the two areas that were in question about whether they are ditches or intermittent streams, if there's a flow of water that's connecting these wetland areas. That's what we need clarification on.
Yep.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yes, thanks, Nicole. That was perfect.
Steve is, oh, Shane, you have a question? Are you unmuted?
I am now, yeah. Okay, so I never seen, I can't really, obviously, I can't point to the map, but
Mhm.
those, I didn't know those were the two that they were talking about.
Yep.
I thought they were directly behind my house there, because there is a big ditch that was
Yeah.
there. Between the trail, there's a trail that goes behind my house out to those backwoods.
Yeah,
And then I see Snow's Brook. So it's those two ditches up there behind Snow's Brook. But he still wants to go through that entire wetland area where Snow's Brook is, correct?
This is just an
So
ANRAD, so.
that's an
this-
issue.
this is just delineating what's what up in that back area. So nothing, this isn't a plan for him to do anything at this point. It's just marking the wetlands and things the way that they need to be marked. And we have questions about those areas.
Okay,
Yeah. All right, thank you.
all right. Thanks.
Steve, is there anybody else in the queue?
Would anybody else like to comment that has any related to the ditches that the commission is speaking about tonight? If so, please use the hand raise feature or comment in the chat. I am seeing none.
Madam Chair, this is Jennifer DeBobrian, the Director of Community Economic Development. I just had some procedural comments, if you would indulge me for a minute.
Sure.
Okay. I just wanted to note that your consultant from BSC Group, Matt Byrne, has, clearly indicated, his thoughts about the ditches and what he believes. And I think the commission agrees with him. That's what I've heard over the last couple of meetings that I've been to. And it's clear that the applicant's representative does not agree. They've been very vocal about that. So we're at a standstill. And I understand that, DEP wants to you want DEP to get involved. But I guess my question would be, to what end? If DEP is going to agree with you, we're right back where we started. So would it make more sense for the commission to either issue an ORAD that's inaccurate and have the applicant have the ability to go to DEP to appeal that, and then DEP can weigh in, or just prolonging this a little? I'm just wondering procedurally if it makes more sense to go that route, because I feel like we're going to wait another 2 weeks, have DEP come out to tell you the exact same thing that you already know, and we're right back where we started. So I'm just wondering procedurally if it makes more sense to just agree with your consultant, which I believe, I don't want to speak for all of the commissioners, but it sounds like from what I've heard that you all do, and you issue an inaccurate ORAD and then let the applicant do what they will with that. And I mean, you can ask Matt Byrne if he agrees that's that position or not, but
I don't agree with that position.
it's just a procedural.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know procedurally, but like, there's a lot of what has been done that is accurate, and then there's just these portions that are inaccurate. Myself personally, I hate to say that the whole thing is inaccurate because of these, so I don't know. I don't know.
Again, if we reach out as a board to the DEP, they will make a decision and they can bring it back to us, and then we can
Take it from there.
take it from there and vote. I don't want to issue anything that's incorrect.
Yeah, I don't think the DEP will, I think DEP, you should be able to get advice from them, but I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna give you quote unquote the answer.
Right.
I think you'll be in a position where you'll get another opinion about whether or not those N and D series wetlands border on a stream.
Right.
And then they're gonna say, now it's your responsibility to make a decision.
Right.
And then So, yeah, so,
I mean,
but I
because,
do think that that's a good, step.
yeah, I think because we've got, we are at a standstill and we want to do this correctly. And the only way to resolve the two opinions is to get DEP involved. I don't know how the other members feel, but you can't just say, okay, they don't agree, so let's give them the ORAD. Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I wasn't suggesting that you give them the ORAD. I was suggesting that you mark it inaccurate. So you're
Right.
not giving them the ORAD because that's the
Well-
position that the commission is taking.
I would like to wait to see what the DEP says before we do
That's
anything.
fine.
And I think, Harry, do you have a thought?
I'm not happy with the DEP, but that's their job. Whether they do it right or wrong, we'll see.
Well, Harry, do you want the
I've already had problems on Snowsbrook and another area, and
What about your the watershed commission?
I can have the watershed look at it.
Why
They
don't
can
we have them
definitely
both
tell
look at
they
it?
get. That's what they're there for.
Well, there you go.
All right. I'll call
Okay.
Bill Callahan tomorrow.
Okay. So does the commission want to have one of us reach out to DEP? I've already spoken to someone there, but Wendy, if you want to take the,
If you've already spoken with somebody, I mean, I'm fine with that because you've already made a connection, but are we gonna do both?
why not?
Okay.
I mean,
And then we
more-
can see what they say. And if they say what the plans look like, that's what they are, then that's what they are. If they say they're not, then we take it from there, what needs to be done.
I agree.
Okay.
No,
So with, go ahead,
Rebecca-
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Rebecca's gonna need to either extend or ask us for a decision.
Right, at that time.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so we don't have anybody else in the queue, so do we want to make a motion to continue? And is that what we would do? Motion to continue, and we're gonna contact people to be able to come in to take a look?
I believe that Rebecca would have to request that.
I am at the commission's mercy at this point. I am just a silent observer. If this is
Yeah.
the way the commission wishes, they can either, like Jennifer offered, issue an inaccurate, they can issue a partial inaccurate. We can have DEP, we can have the Taunton watershed. At some point, you either need to say that the plans as shown are accurate in certain portions, or you have to say that they're inaccurate in certain portions. If that's next week or the next meeting, so be it. But yeah, kind of done with this too.
I don't blame you.
So let's continue to the next hearing in the hopes that you have two more opinions. And then the decision is to issue the ORAD as partially accurate, accurate, or inaccurate.
Okay.
And
Okay,
if it goes to an appeal, that's not for us.
I have
Okay.
a suggestion that you, no, actually, I think that's a good recommendation.
There you go.
thanks, Matt. Thanks, Rebecca. All right, so with that all being said, someone want to make the motion?
I can make a motion to continue to the next hearing, which I'm not sure what date. Is it just
27th?
27? Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. I'll make a motion to continue 0 to 1300 Vernon Street to the 27th of October, at 5:30 p.m.
Second,
Thank you. Thank you, guys. And a roll call vote, Eileen?
Aye.
Harry?
aye.
And myself, Wendy, aye. All right, thank you. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, Matt.
Welcome. Thank
Wendy,
you.
just so
Thanks,
you know,
Matt.
we do now have a
You're
hand
welcome.
raised. I'm not too sure if you guys want to hear it or if you've moved on and you're done. Just want to let you know there is a hand raised.
Oh, just came up. I mean,
Just voted. I don't know.
It's Jen Bujinga. I mean, I don't know, can I take a question after we just made a motion?
That is the applicant.
What's that?
That is the applicant.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, so
I know, but I'm wondering now if do I take it after we've made a motion? Steve?
Probably cannot take any new information, but we probably could
maybe you could
hear what
open it
the applicant
up.
needs to say.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Let her speak.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with the screen. What's happening?
You're
So
there?
Jen Bujinga, if you wanna,
This is
speak-
Manny Bajinga, the applicant.
Oh, hi, Manny.
So I'm sorry, I just got sidetracked in traffic here and it's just horrible. So I do apologize to the board that I'm getting too late. So I guess I just got the tail end of it. We're continuing it.
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna bring in, the DEP circuit rider. Somebody's gonna come out to take a look at it. And, possibly someone from the, what is it, Taunton
River
Watershed? Yep. Just because of the areas that we're not in agreement with.
Yeah,
And just to see what they have to say. And then when we meet next time, we will make a decision.
Fair enough.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Manny. All right, I lost my piece of paper. Moving on, is the
Okay.
notice of, I'm sorry?
Take care. I'll see you all
Oh.
later.
You too.
Thank you,
Bye,
Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay, bye-bye.
Next up is the notice of intent for 6 Aldrich Road, map 20, lot 77. This has been requested to be continued till the next meeting, 10/27. So I think we just need a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to continue the meeting for Aldridge Road to 27th at 5:30 PM.
All right, thank you.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote. Eileen,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. Next up, Conservation Commission business. We have a certificate of compliance for 500 South Street, map 62, lot 19. Catalano Construction is the applicant representative. I don't know if anybody's here for that.
Not likely.
No,
Chair.
and so Steve, what did you want to say?
This item was one that the commission's been waiting on for stabilization of the grassed areas. Wendy was by the office yesterday, said that she drove by the site and saw that the grass was taking. I made the same observation late last week. So this one should, in my opinion, is ready to be issued a COC.
Awesome. Board members have any comments or questions?
I have no issues.
Okay,
No issue.
all right. Someone want to make a motion to issue?
I will make a motion to issue a COC on South 500 South Street.
Second,
Thanks. And roll call vote. Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Harry Bailey.
Aye.
And myself, Wendy Smith, aye. Moving on, we have an extension request for Scotland Boulevard, map 59, lot 14. The applicant representative is NPSSA Scotland LLC, Collins Engineering. Looks like David, you're in for that. Did you want to speak on
No,
it?
I just here to answer any questions that the board may have regarding the project and how it's going and what we're doing. So it's
Okay.
just really an extension for the OCC, which expires on the last day of December. So we wanted to get it in early enough so that we had 30 days prior.
All right, thank you. Steve, did you want to speak on that?
Yeah, I spoke briefly with David about this. COVID, this was an order of conditions that was spanning COVID. So there was a lot of delays and we all experienced that. So this is just to try to get some more time to get the project done under the existing order of conditions.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
I've been on the project since it started. I was one of the ones that spent the 2 days walking all the wetland lines and everything. And we've never had a problem with this project at all, so I recommend approval of it.
Thanks, Harry. Eileen, anything?
No, I'm good too.
Okay. Then do we have a motion?
I actually didn't catch the,
So it's an extension request, just a
No,
motion
yeah.
to issue an extension, yeah.
yeah, I make the motion. I don't have the edit because I didn't get the, whatchamacallit,
The agenda.
yeah, thank you. I
So,
didn't write it down because I was writing something else down, but what's the property in Scotland?
Scotland Boulevard, map 59, lot 14.
Okay, so make a motion to approve the extension.
Yep.
Scotland Boulevard.
Yep. Harry,
Second,
thank you. Sorry. Eileen, roll call vote. Sorry,
Aye.
Eileen.
Aye. I-
Harry,
aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye.
Right,
Thanks,
thank you.
David. Yep,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. The last under Conservation Commission business is the certificate of compliance for 5 Enright Way, map 3, lot 41. Has to do with a septic system that's just never closed out on. So is anybody here for that needs to speak?
Madam Chair, I doubt there would be anyone here for that one.
All right,
Um,
so give us the rundown, Steve.
Sure. So this project is located across the street from a resource area, and it's a drainage outlet that was basically has become a wetland at this point. And it's a septic system. That's what the order of conditions was for back in March of 1995. So needless to say, the site is stable. On a lot of these, all I do is go out and check to make sure nothing else is going on that shouldn't be going on, and there isn't on this site. So I would suggest the issuance of the certificate of compliance.
Thanks, Steve. Eileen or Harry, anything to add or question or concern?
I just have to abstain because I have the property listed for sale.
Oh, okay.
So it's just you and Harry.
Okay, yeah, that works.
So
make a
Harry, would
motion.
you,
I make a
can
motion.
you make
to
the
approve.
motion and can I second it?
Yep, you have to.
Yeah, it's technically a quorum and you guys are a majority, so.
All right. So Harry, we just need a motion to issue the COC
Motion to issue the approval of it
for 5 Enright Way.
for 5 Enright.
Okay,
Way.
I second. So roll call vote. Harry,
Aye.
myself, Wendy, aye. All set. Thank you.
And Eileen abstained.
Yep.
Members, I apologize for the interruption. You'll need to continue that the two of you does not constitute as a quorum.
There's a
Oh,
I apologize. If
with
Eileen
the
is,
3 on, because there's only
if
3 of
Eileen's
us.
not voting, then I apologize. Yes, the two of you can't, so you will have to continue that item. I
Okay,
apologize for the interruption.
all right, that's fine. So Harry, can you just make a motion to continue 5 Enright Way?
Motion to continue 5 Enright Way.
All right, and I second. All right, thank you. So that's it on that. Administrative items, approval of the meeting minutes. People have a chance to look at those. Can we approve? I did. They look fine to me.
Yep, I'm good.
Harry, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting.
Excellent.
Second.
And thank you. And roll call vote, Eileen,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
myself, Wendy, aye. And last up, we have discussion items, the environmental planner report. Steve, you're up. Oh, what?
Wendy, may I interrupt one more time? I'm sorry. Did you guys vote to continue 5 Enright? I'm sorry. I may
We
have just
did.
missed that.
We did.
Okay.
Yes,
Yep.
we did.
Was that an Eileen Harry? Eileen motion, Harry second?
No,
It was Harry and I second.
Okay. And you
Okay.
second, oh, okay, thank you so much.
Yep, yeah. You're welcome. Yep. So last up is the environmental planner report. Steve?
Nothing to report at this time.
Oh,
Wow, cool. Can I get the motion?
I'm working on some things, but that will probably
Okay.
be, I knew tonight was going to be a little bit of a agenda, so
Yeah.
I'll keep them on for the next meeting.
all right. So yeah, we need a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
All right. Oh, do I have to do roll call vote?
Yes.
Roll call vote. Eileen,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
and myself, Wendy. Aye.
All right.
All right.
Night
Thank you
all.
so much, everybody. Yikes. Have a good night, all.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Next meeting,
Yep.
I got another one.